Yes.
Yes, I do believe that people have souls.
Yes, because there has to be something more to us than just like our bodies are just like chemical reactions like going on and on and on, but there has to be something more to that because we can think and we know that we can think, so that means that like we have something.
No, I do not.
The more intelligent animals, ones with personalities, yes, things like dogs and cats, dolphins, monkeys. Not things like bugs, spiders. Yeah.
I do not believe that animals have souls.
Yes, my best friend is my ferret, and my dog is also my friend. It's kind of a jerk. You have to have a soul to be a jerk.
As humans are animals, no, I do not.
Conservation of energy suggests that something has to happen, but I don't really know what. Maybe there's some kind of alternate, parallel, but enhanced reality with more dimensions and stuff that we can access than we can right now.
I believe, because I'm a Christian, that their soul either goes to heaven or is separated from God forever.
Part of me thinks that it dies also, but there's a part of it, since we can't know, we don't know, that maybe there's something more, that like something goes on, like the part of us that is alive in our body, like can go on, and I mean, that'd be really great, but of course we can't actually know.
I believe what happens is probably something akin to what it is like before you are actually alive. It's just a matter of the process ending, life ends, there's no more physical circulation, all that fun stuff, no electronics going on in the mind, in the brain, and because that's all there is the physical, it just ends. It's nothingness.
I think that depends on the person. Whenever you feel that you've completed your purpose on this existence, then that's a good time to die. Whenever and however that is.
I think that it certainly depends on what kind of person it is. I think that defining a good way to die is a very personal thing. So yes, I believe there's a good way to die, but I believe that it changes depending on the person.
Well, everyone's going to die, and so it doesn't really, to me, I mean, if other people die in a certain way, it doesn't really matter, but for me, of course, I really want to die painlessly and when I'm old. But I mean, like, some people it's not going to happen, so that's just how life works.
Naturally, perhaps, but probably in the way that might be least painful to an individual.
I think there should be celebrations, because otherwise it's too depressing for the survivors.
I feel like that's also pretty personal depending on the kind of culture that someone grows up in. But personally, I would like it to be a celebration of life, because people are already sad that you're dead. I mean, why would you just give them a space and be like, oh, feel sad now? You know what I mean? Someone might be already done grieving. So, yeah.
It should be a little of both, because they should be sad that the person's gone, but they should be celebrating their life and, like, remembering it in a way that, like, as if the person, like, were there, like, wanting you to celebrate their life. Like, for me, I know at my funeral, I want everyone to play Another One Bites the Dust, because then people will laugh and cry at the same time, because they'll see my humor is still there.
I tend to go with celebrations, typically if the person's lived long enough and, celebrate that they had a good life. If, it's a 5-year-old who died, I don't think there's much to celebrate, so yeah, it depends on the age and the scenario.
I don't really care what happens to my body as long as there's some sort of gravestone or monument, because I think that's the cool thing about graveyards is it's like a tangible record of real people who lived and died, and I want my descendants to be able to have that tangibility available to them.
I'd like to be cremated only because it's the cheapest way.
I want to be buried and I want to have a proper Jewish funeral.
Whatever would be of the least environmental issue, in the sense that, If it is better for the environment if I'm buried, cool. If it's better to be cremated, whatever. I don't have a particular care one way or the other, because I won't really know.
It's the body is the vessel which holds the soul and the personality of that person, and so even though the body itself might not be anything significant, it's sort of the liaison between the soul and the physical world, and so it deserves the same respect that a soul should get too.
I think that it matters just that people have something done with the corpse at all, just to kind of have closure. But I honestly think that your corpse is just like meat, and you shouldn't waste 14 gajillion acres of land and burying dead people in dampness-proof coffins, because, you could use that land for something a little more productive.
They have different beliefs of what could happen. For example, in the Jewish, they think that there's when the Messiah comes, one day you're gonna be something's gonna happen if you're come out of I don't know exactly how it works, but so in that case they it said that you're supposed to preserve your body once you die, so that it's even amputations bad, and you're supposed to have proper burial for your arm or something if you get your arm amputated. But I think that thinking about it for your soul or whatever, they're two separate things. So your body's just the physical part. So once it's dead, and so nothing can really be recovered or saved. So it doesn't really matter unless you're looking at for me, it would be more about tradition to have the proper Jewish funeral for me. But it doesn't really matter what happens, because it's just the physical remains of what's left of you.
I imagine it has something to do with the fact that they see the corpse as still the person they knew, and not just this flesh bag, basically, which is really what it is at this point. And they just see it as their friend, their companion, their whatever, lover, and so they want to treat it as if it is still human, still alive, when it is just meat at this point.